Good evening. Welcome to the Village Board meeting for November 3rd of 2025. Could you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Father Thomas Bennett is here to do the invocation tonight from St. Joseph Church.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, member of the City Council and city staff. I appreciate the opportunity given me to pray with you this evening. Let us pray. Eternal God, source of all creation and compassion, we lift up our city to you today, along with every person who calls it home. We pray for its streets and neighborhoods, for its leaders and its citizens, and for its ongoing story. We ask first for peace and unity within our community. Where there is division, plant understanding. Where there is conflict, sow reconciliation. Help us to see the dignity and value of every phase we pass, and to recognize that our strength lies in our diversity and our shared commitment to this place. Grant wisdom and integrity to all who hold positions of leadership in government, in business, in education, and in our places of worship. May they act with courage, fairness, and deep sense of responsibility to the common good. We pray for the well-being and prosperity of all our residents, for those who are struggling with poverty, illness, loneliness, and despair. We ask for your comfort and for the resources and helping hands they need. Inspire us, the community, to be those hands to work tirelessly to ensure that every person has shelter, sustenance, and opportunity. Protect our city from harm. Bless our first responders, our police, firefighters, and paramedics as they run toward dangers to keep us safe. Give them strength and keep them from injury. May our city be a place of creativity, learning, and hope. May it be a place where children can grow up safe and inspired, where the elderly are respected and cared for, and where all people feel they belong. Stir within us a renewed spirit of generosity and civic duty. Help us to be good neighbors, diligent in our work, and committed to making this city a better, brighter place for generations to come. We offer this prayer in hope and faith, believing in the power of community and the promise of a better tomorrow. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Father.
Thank you.
Roll call, please.
Barry? Boudreaux?
Here.
Vaughn? Here. Crockett?
Here.
Gatsky is not here. Zimmelman?
Here.
And Ms. Moore?
Here. On the reading of the agenda, are there any additions or deletions from the agenda? I do have one deletion. I was going to have a motion tonight to appoint Robert Hartlett as code enforcer, and I am taking that off the agenda tonight. The reading of the minutes, changes, corrections, anyone? If not, could I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second. Barry?
Yes.
Zimmelman? Yes. Boudreaux?
Yes.
Vaughn? Yes. Crockett?
Yes.
Thank you. Public participation. Our first speaker tonight is Ann Gates.
Good evening. My hubby and I went to a few garage sales in town, and some folks recognized me from the meetings, but I responded to them that I didn't remember meeting them. And they said they don't come to the meetings because they are afraid to speak up because they might get backlash for what they stand for. It was sad that they commented, "We really appreciate the information that has been coming forth." And I said, "Well, that's really good," but they would have appreciated it coming forth from the trustees and the officials in the town rather than hearing it this way, and I agree with them. We've all heard about the anonymous letters, but things have gone to another level. as a first responder family, our dinner table conversations tend to be centered on workplace, street happenings. I'm sure the chief and officers, you probably know what that's like. So I'm thankful for all that I learned from those conversations, and they actually came in handy after the last meeting when I was followed home by a pickup truck. I'm a very vigilant person. I'm always aware of what's going on around me. And when I became aware of the person following me, I used the eluding techniques that I had learned at our dinner table from my nephew that's a detective and my nephew that's a Cook County Sheriff's Police officer. And it worked. And as I sat and watched the person go by slowly, still looking for me, I felt like I had been back in the old Antillia neighborhood where I grew up on the south side of Chicago. Have we come to this? I mean, really. Fear tactics and intimidation. At the fundraiser banquet the other night, I listened to others who also had stuff happen to them. You might become really busy, Chief, if things continue to escalate. Mayor, I'm very thankful for you and the new trustees that don't need to be stooping to such shenanigans to push an agenda. Unlike the former administration, you're not afraid to have an open and honest dialogue. I remember the town meeting where they and the CCP Chinese folks were invited to attend and no one showed up. So much for transparency. I'm thankful that Goshen and Michigan and North Dakota have been shut down. They had also said, we're not going anywhere, we're here to stay. Well, they're gone, thank God. Hopefully this one will be too soon. I had friends that wanted information, and I told them to watch the past meetings. Problem was, when they did, many of the meetings weren't there. Meetings that were there had been edited, spliced, people removed, and their comments taken out. I'm happy the 7 lawsuits have moved forward to discovery, and it'll be interesting to see what else surfaces. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Nicole Gavin.
All right. Good evening, mayors, trustees, and everyone here tonight. My name is Nicole Gavin. I've been a Manteno resident since 2010, and I'm the executive director of Visit Kankakee County. I appreciate the opportunity to come speak and clarify a few things from last meeting. I really believe in open conversations so that we can stay connected and move forward in the same direction for growth for Manteno. I want to start with a question of value, whether a countywide or tourism organization truly benefits Manteno. I completely understand about wanting to focus on our own backyard, but here's the thing, visitors don't really know borders. They'll go to dinner in one town, they'll stay in a hotel in another town, they will shop in another town. So if we market the county as one destination, everyone benefits, and that includes Manteno's businesses. Last year, visitors spent $167 million in Kankakee County, and that generated over $6.8 million in local tax. It saved each household over $1,300 and supports over 1,200 jobs in our county. So without that visitor spending, the dollars to make up would fall on our residents here. So tourism does matter. It fuels our jobs, it keeps our taxes lower, and it drives dollars right into our region, including Manteno. Now, about the short-term rental tax that's been discussed, I want to be really clear on this. It's not a tax on Manteno residents or the business owners. It's not paid by the host, the property owner, or the village. It's paid entirely by the visitor. It's a small lodging fee that travelers are used to paying for in Illinois and throughout the entire country. Communities like Champaign, Springfield, Quad Cities, Oak Park, and many other communities in Illinois have already implemented this successfully. And the benefit, those visitor dollars return directly to Manteno. Not our organization, but to Manteno to help support your marketing, your initiatives, your visitor-centric events, infrastructure, and more. It's one of the few ways to grow tourism funding without asking residents to pay more. And finally, I do want to clarify one more thing. Visit Kankakee County does not have a $1 billion budget or a $1 million budget. We are operating at just under $450,000 per year. So Manteno and its businesses are part of our membership, which gives you access to marketing support, visitor data, and statewide exposure through our campaigns. And you might not see our ads locally, and that's by design. Our ads get pushed out to people 50 miles and further away from here to bring in new visitors and new people to come to town. At the end of the day, tourism isn't about competing communities. It's about shared success. When one town thrives, we all win together. So thank you for your time and allowing me to share tonight.
Thank you. The next speaker is Paul Motel.
Good evening. I was also at that meeting that this young lady mentioned, and I believe who she's referencing that she wanted to clarify. That woman, who happens to be a business owner here in town, made a statement that kind of resonated with me. She stated that it seems like anything that ends up on the agenda, the board already has its mindset. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. In the last 2 years, where I became more active in attending these meetings and speaking and observing what's going on, a few people have asked me, you know, how is it that something ends up on an agenda Friday evening, and on Monday night it comes to a vote? Well, yes, the Open Meetings Act does require a minimum of 48 hours of notification of what's on the agenda. However, we don't need to do the bare minimum. As Mr. LaRock or anyone else in the Village Hall is leaving in the afternoon on Fridays before the board meeting, the agenda's posted. Residents are left all weekend with questions. When can they be answered? Monday morning, when you guys return to the office. Mr. Bergdahl suggested last meeting you go back to an older method, which is doing a first reading, which I kind of like the idea of, because it would give residents time to digest and weigh the pros and cons of what exactly it is, the matter that you're voting on. Also, CJ mentioned last meeting again as well, and I've heard one other matter that was voted on, and the residents here in attendance expressed disgust at that moment. It was mentioned by a board member that, well, you know, it was brought up and discussed at a committee meeting. That committee meeting was held at 7 a.m. By that time, I've already been at work for an hour. Most of the working people here cannot attend a 7 a.m. meeting. So long story short, I support the idea Mr. Bergdahl stated last meeting, going to a first reading and voting on the matter at the second meeting. And then ultimately, you guys can still hold the committee meetings in the evenings when most people get home from work. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. The next speaker is Francine Fatima.
I brought along tonight an article that was in the Epoch Times. It's quite a wonderful newspaper. You actually learn a few things. And this is an article called "Life is a Jigsaw Puzzle," and I'm going to read it. When things don't go the way we want, faith offers a different perspective. This is an article by Judy Peak, who is 70 years old. She says, I feel that life is a giant jigsaw puzzle. God is the one putting it together. Many times in our lives, we come upon situations that don't go our way. We try to make it work, but the pieces just don't work together. That is because God is not ready for those pieces to fit together. That's when we learn patience. What we want may not be good for us. God knows. Sometimes we get upset because we want what we didn't get. This is where trust in God comes in. We are only human. God knows what is right for us, and guess what? What we thought we wanted is not nearly as good. God gives us a free will, free choice. Do we make a good choice or a bad choice? Both choices have consequences, a good consequence or a bad consequence. Think the situation all the way through before making a decision. And above all else, pray about it, and then listen for the answer. The pieces will start coming together. Through prayer, faith, trust, patience, and most of all, love, our puzzle pieces start to fit together, and our life's journey is a real beautiful place and a piece of God's world. Have a safe journey through life, and don't forget your roadmap, the Bible. And don't forget to thank God for all your blessings. And this was directed at students, youngsters, in other words, to think about this as they go through life. And a lot of us could do the same. Thank you.
Thank you, Francine. The last speaker tonight is Bob Forsythe.
Yes, I was at the committee meeting on Tuesday, and a few things that I found kind of odd was the part that Mr. LaRock didn't have a problem pushing H.R. Green to do a grant to look for grants for the pier and the pond, one for fish and one, but I just asked, isn't that Chris's job? Why would we pay $4,000 when that would be, I would think, fall in Chris's lap? I mean, we do a lot of things that don't seem right, don't seem ethical. The bid on the pickup truck, we were going to go right to one bid, even though another bid was lower. And we're bidding a 2025. And I found it odd that people could sit here and go, well, oh, it'll be a 2026. There's nobody from Ford here to consult if it's going to be a 2026 or a 2025. But we had a couple people think that we can just make it a 2026 for the same price. I just found it a little odd how some of the things get done. You know, when we want to follow the state law all the time, but yet, Mr. LaRock, where have you been for the last 16 years now that we're enforcing raffles? Wasn't that your job in the last 16 years? You didn't do it then? And now all of a sudden we're going to do it now? I mean, I just find it odd how you can pick and choose what you want. I don't understand it, and I wish you'd explain it to me, how it works. Not shrug your shoulders, but actually answer my question when I ask it.
For the record, I've only worked for the village for 13 years.
Okay, 13 years. So 13 years you haven't done your job, and all of a sudden we're going to do it now. I just don't understand how this works. But I wish I would have seen you on Tuesday. You could have became educated, could have listened to a few things, instead of some trustees, or at least one trustee, wrinkling my paper up in front of me and handing it back to me.
Thank you. Reports of village officials. So I have a couple things tonight. It won't be an appointment, and I don't have any presentations, but there is a request from Turkey for Tots, and I got a letter from Jerry Downs, and many of you probably know he's associated with the Silhouettes. He helps with this fundraiser every year. He said the Turkey Tots benefit receives $500 donations from past to present annually from most of the local banks, the businesses, the corporations, cities, villages, and many private donors. But each year, our numbers grow of children in need of Christmas. Obviously, we would appreciate anything or any type of donation you can do for this noble event. We would like to make it an annual donation if possible. I would be glad to stop in anytime and pick up your donation. So what they are having is what's called the Ball at the Mall, and that's at the Northfield Square Mall in Bradley. And if we do send a donation, they'll take any signage that we may have that they will put on display. And it needs to be made out to the Community Foundation of Kankakee River Valley. So the Ball at the Mall is going to be held on Saturday, November the 22nd. It's open to the public. The James Michael Travis Band, the Silhouettes, and a tribute band called the Piano Men, featuring Billy Joel and Elton John music. The doors open at 5 o'clock at Center Court. It's only $15 a person. It includes seating, and food and beverages will be available. They have VIP tables of 8 for $200 if you might be interested. So Jerry Downs left us his address and information to contact him if the village would like to make a donation. And Chris, have we ever done this in the past?
No.
Do we have to vote on that?
Yeah, it's an expenditure of money, so it should be on the agenda too, but I can listen with the event November 22. If you guys wanted to do something and you were all in agreement with it, I'd say give direction to Chris and then have it ratify it at the next meeting. It's not
Any
it's not
comments?
thousands of dollars, I assume, so it's not.
We have budgeted money for charity, right? Don't we? Have we used all that for the year?
No, it's usually for the fireworks display and then the
The golf
couple of
that we
other
do
small,
like-
sometimes we've donated to a couple of sports for the, yeah. So
I spoke with Jerry about this, and he told me that what the money is used for, they give $125 to each child in need and take them to Myers, and they get to pick out what they need for Christmas.
I'm okay with it.
If we have it budgeted, I don't see why we wouldn't. It's a good cause.
Do you want us to have a motion or not?
No, I just want you to agree on an amount and just tell Chris to do it, then you can put it on the agenda for the next meeting. Just to
Yeah, I'm
ratify it.
fine.
How much do you think it should be? 500, or you want to go 1,000?
1,000.
Thousand sounds fine.
Mike?
1,000.
Todd? I think we're in agreement here. Okay, thank you. Also, under announcements, I am going to a homelessness seminar this week, and I think our police chief is also going. Is that on your agenda? Are you talking about that tonight, Al? Okay, I'll let you talk about it. But I'm going to be going to an all-day agenda. It's at KCC this week. Also, I have been getting letters, a lot of letters, and I got 2 tonight that were handed to me by CJ. They come from some high school students, so I'm going to be reading those. But in this envelope are many letters from some of the 4th graders that I visited with, and guess what? They all signed their names, and they're very thankful I came, and they wrote me very nice and kind notes, and one of them thinks we should have a dog park. So if anybody wants to read any of these very special notes, there's a lot of drawings here, and a lot of very thoughtful comments. They're going to be available after the meeting. All right, the village administrator's report. Do we have anything?
I have nothing this evening.
Did you want to mention the TIF at all?
No, we had that meeting earlier, so
Okay.
that's fine.
Upcoming events. Jacob, is this a good time for you?
Sure. So Veterans Day is next week. They are starting off with that, their military Warriors Veterans Day run.
Is your microphone on?
Can you hear me? The green button's on.
Okay,
The green light's on.
go ahead.
So that'll be stepping off next Tuesday at 8 a.m. at Heritage Park, and they'll make their way past all 3 of the schools. There it goes. And then the Manteno American Legion will be stepping off at the Legion Post at 10:45 that day, and they'll be marching over to Legion Park for a short ceremony at 11. The public are invited to attend. And then come Tuesday, November 18th, the Manteno Chamber of Commerce will be having a small business season celebration and ribbon cutting, where we'll be recognizing 3 new businesses in Manteno: Liquid Books, Tan Logistics, and Supreme Diagnostic Services. Mayberry Junction will be running some lunch specials during that time. It's from 12 to 2 p.m. And then Angel Thrift Consignment Store will be running some different promotions as well, and I believe we'll be cutting some ribbon at 1:30 for those 3 new businesses.
And tell us that date again.
November 18th.
And Veterans Day, you said was Tuesday, the 11th?
Tuesday, November 11th is Veterans Day, yep. And then Christmas in Manteno, mark your calendars, is Saturday, December 6th. That schedule of events is getting printed, but you should be able to find that on our website here later this week. Trustees, you guys have the full schedule of events in front of you, along with some different sponsorship opportunities to pass along. Christmas in Manteno is a great community event. We've got a small business walk, the lighting of downtown, Chicago Carolers will be back there, and of course, visits with Santa. So that's all I've got. Thank you.
Sounds super.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Did you know that we had 3 new businesses in town
That was the committee meeting we talked about.
in June? Okay, have you guys been over there? They're pretty cool.
Yeah, so there's a lot of new faces over there. For those that don't know, Mayberry Junction is also under new ownership. The owners are great, Robert and Donna. Robert was at the restaurant when Arlene was there, but they seem very excited to be a part of the community and they want to be involved. So this is a great time for you guys to kind of meet all these new faces. So I think it's been a while since a lot of those storefronts have been occupied. So it's nice to see, and I think we definitely need to go out there and support them as best as we can. So November 18th, it'll be a great introduction for the trustees and for the community to get to know all these businesses and check them out.
And Liquid Books is much more than a bookstore. They have records, they have tapes, they have videos, there's a lot of collectibles, a lot of things you'll be happy to see. I've been in there a couple times, and it's great.
I was shocked about that one Angel Thrift. Yeah, you can get your license, you can get your license plates.
That's not Angel Thrift, that's
Which
the
one?
diagnostic.
So diagnostics, yeah, 10, okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
What's it called, special?
Supreme Diagnostic
Supreme
Services.
Diagnostics. Yeah.
So lots to see over there. You guys can check them out on Facebook, but please, please, please feel free to come by November 18th to meet your neighbors and support local.
Thank you. All right, we're going to
Thanks.
do all the committee reports now. Trustee Barry, Finance?
Thank you, Mayor. Old business on the agenda, none. New business on the agenda, bills authorized and paid between board cycle, $44,698.46. The next Finance Committee meeting will be November 17th, 2025, 5 p.m. at the Village Boardroom. That's all I have.
Thank you. Planning and Zoning, CJ Boudreau?
This is kind of old business, and we're voting on it tonight. The filming of committee meetings was addressed in public comment too. Again, we're trying to do our best to address those concerns and kind of offer you guys as best as possible. I know times are tough to make meetings, I understand that. So we're going to start filming those, I think, starting, it'd be this month, right? The 12th, yep. 12th. And how much was it a month? It was like around $1,500 a month to get for all the committee meetings?
I think the total for the year is going to be somewhere around $10,000.
Okay, yeah. Again, we thought that's money well spent to, again, provide as much transparency and kind of showing you guys where we're at, because I understand making those times are tough, but we want to kind of do that.
Could you explain to people how they find those online?
Sure, yes. You could either go to YouTube and then type in like Village of Manteno, we have a page. Or if you go to our village website, click, I think it's all the way to the right, I don't know if it's like
Go down
other.
to Meetings and agendas.
Yeah, other, then you get to meetings and agendas on the left side, you get over that tab, click meetings and agendas, and it'll take you to the page, and it'll have our agenda, and if it's, once it's recorded and uploaded, it'll say like YouTube or video, you click on that, you can watch the whole meeting, all that kind of stuff to catch up on. So it'll be all on there. All the agendas, I think it goes back to like 2012, 2010. I did that one time, I was like curious how far we go back, and I went back pretty far. So if you're really interested in the history of the last like 15 years too, what we've been talking about, and videos, it's kind of interesting to kind of look at.
And it's easy to find. It's
Yeah.
very easy.
Yeah. The next Planning and Zoning Committee meeting will be Wednesday, November 12th at 7 a.m. in the Village Boardroom, and then the next Planning Commission meeting is canceled due to nothing on the agenda. That's all I have.
Thank you. Trustee Vaughn for Public Safety and Health.
Okay, old business on agenda, none. New business, I have nothing. Public Safety Committee report, Chief's report. We have an officer here tonight, Jeremy. Would you like to give us that report, please? Absolutely. Thank you very much.
There we go. Good evening, I'm Officer Jeremy Mrazek. I've been serving Manteno PD since August of 2024, and so I got some October stats for you. So within October, we had 95 case reports, 813 incidents, 128 tickets, 25 arrests, 9 mental health-related calls, 19 domestic violence-related calls. Significant incidents would include motorists arrested for running over a bicycle being pushed by 2 juveniles in a parking lot over at McDonald's. And the most common calls in October were disorderly conduct, domestic violence, and identity theft. So if you guys have any loved ones that are getting on in age, make sure you're checking in on them because that's usually who's being taken advantage of. Any questions?
No, thank you.
All right.
Appreciate that.
No problem.
Okay, our next Public Safety and Health Committee meeting will be on November 17th, 5 p.m. at the Village Boardroom. Thank you.
Chief, did you have a report? You were,
Yep, Jeremy kind of summed up our October. It's kind of a typical month for us, but mental health calls obviously is a big concern for us. It's kind of related to homelessness, as the mayor mentioned. This Thursday there's a homeless summit. They have had it every year since I think 2022. You got to register online, but it's an interesting, it's an all-day thing. But I think people think they understand homelessness, but you really don't. You really need experts in that field to kind of understand it and educate everybody. And I think we're all better educated on it. We would understand where we're at on that. Like I said, the mayor and I will be attending that summit on Thursday. Probably other big local news, and really doesn't involve the village per se, but is the accidents on Route 15 County Line Road. It's not in the village, but it does affect our residents quite a bit. The state finally moved on that after quite a bit of pressure and quite a few accidents. Probably too little too late, but whether it will change anything, they put stop signs on Route 50. That's just a short-term fix. The longer term is to reconfigure that intersection. But I think it'll help. We'll see. I don't know if it'll eliminate accidents, but I would hope that it will reduce the severity of them. So hopefully it will help. That's all I got.
thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Chief.
All right, that's it. Public Works and Utilities, Trustee Crockett.
Thank you. I don't have anything on the agenda this evening. We do have a Public Works Committee meeting scheduled for Tuesday, the 25th at 7 a.m. here in the Village Boardroom. I realize that, 7 a.m., not everybody is able to make those meetings. If you have any questions regarding the agenda, please feel free to reach out to me at the Village Hall or send me an email. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have if you're not able to make that meeting at 7 a.m. Chris, I was wondering if you could give us just a quick update on the sewer project over on Leahy.
Yeah, so the contracts have been signed and the field engineering has all been done and laid out. The contractor, I believe, is supposed to start later this week. They were waiting on some products that were back ordered, but we hopefully, depending on the weather, should see some activity towards the end of this week.
Okay. That is all I have for this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Is somebody doing Trustee Geske report, Properties and Recreation?
I can do it. Properties and Rec has nothing on the agenda. The next meeting is Wednesday, November 12th at 7 a.m. in the Village Boardroom.
Okay, go ahead. You have your own?
General Government, nothing on the agenda this evening. The next meeting for the General Government is November 25th at 7 a.m. in the Village Boardroom.
Thank you. Under old business, there's nothing, but under new business, we have consideration regarding a motion to receive and place on file the annual treasurer's report for the fiscal year of 2024-2025. We have a consideration regarding a motion to receive and place on file the village annual audit prepared by Smith, Coling, Dykstra, and Ohm for fiscal year ending April 30th of 2025. We have a consideration regarding a motion to receive and place on file the annual TIF report for fiscal year ending April 30th of 2025. A consideration regarding a motion to approve a side letter of agreement between the Village of Manteno and the International Union of Operating Engineers, Local 150. Ordinance 2523, an ordinance vacating portions of an unimproved street east of and parallel to North Cypress Street between Marquette Drive and Rockne Drive in the Village of Manteno, Kankakee County, Illinois. Consideration regarding a motion to approve a service agreement between the Village of Manteno and RME Audio Video for the recording and live streaming of village committee meetings. Ordinance 2524, an ordinance approving a grant and reservation of municipal and public utility easement on real property east of and parallel to North Cypress Street between the northmost boundary of the St. Albans subdivision and Rockne Drive in the Village of Manteno, Kankakee County, Illinois. And finally, the consideration regarding motion to approve payment of the bills in the amount of $567,247.80, including TIF number 3, $0. Do I have a motion to bid on these all at once?
You gotta do them one by one, unless there's no consent agenda, so you do them one by one.
Okay.
You don't have to read them next time. You
Okay. So each one? A is to receive and place on file the treasurer's report.
I have a question about that. What does that mean, Chris?
So every year we do an annual audit, so this is just the board receiving it. It's not something that you approve because it's an independent audit, so you're just receiving that audit, and then we put it on the website for the public to see.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion by Boudreaux, second by Crockett.
Okay. Boudreaux?
Yes.
Crockett?
Yes.
Barry?
Yes.
Vaughn?
Yes.
Zimmelman?
Yes.
All right, the next one, we need a motion to receive and place on file the audit prepared by our auditors.
I'll make that motion.
I'll
Motion by
second.
Crockett, seconded by Zimbelman.
Okay. Crockett?
Yes.
Zimmelman?
Yes.
Barry?
Yes.
Boudreaux?
Yes.
And Vaughn?
Yes.
C, the motion to receive and place on file the TIF report.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Crockett,
I'll second.
second by Boudreaux.
All right. Crockett?
Yes.
Boudreaux?
Yes.
Barry?
Yes.
Vaughn?
Yes.
And Zimmelman?
Yes.
D, the motion to approve a side letter of agreement between the village and the local 150.
Could you clarify this just for the public, just so we all understand it?
Sure. So our streets and alley supervisor retired a couple of months ago, and this is a creation of the foreman position so that that position can remain in the union. And this is something that the union basically kind of clawed back when Mike was in the union and left to take that street and alley supervisor position. Turned out he didn't have to leave the union at the time. They just did not have this in place, so they wanted to make sure that that second in command for under Jim Hanley would remain as a union position.
Thank you.
Yep.
Do we have anybody picked out for that, Jim?
No, the process is it will be posted at the Public Works, so any of the guys that are in the union will have first opportunity to bid for that. So it has to be posted for a certain amount of time, and then Jim will take under advisement anybody that's interested in the position, and then ultimately he has the decision to pick who he wants to have that foreman position. And it is a working position. This is not somebody that's just going to drive around in a truck and not do anything. Anybody that's knows Jim Hanley, he's out there pouring concrete and doing stuff with the guys as well. So Mike Poinkowski also did that, and this is not a strictly administrative position. This is a working foreman position.
So we're not going to post it
He posted through the union. Yep.
through the union?
Yep.
They get an additional $9.33 per hour.
Yeah, so any stipends that they have now go away, so they would only receive that one stipend, not additional ones that they already have.
So
They have
get
to forfeit
$9 on
those.
top of their pay now.
Correct, yep.
Was there a motion made?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion by Boudreaux, second by Crockett.
Okay. Boudreaux?
Yes.
Crockett?
Yes.
Barry?
Yes.
All right, ordinance 20...
Wait, let me
Sorry.
finish. Vaughn?
Yes.
Zimmelman?
Yes.
My apologies. Ordinance 2523, an ordinance vacating portions of the unimproved street, that's North Cypress between Marquette and Rockne.
Wait.
What is this for, Chris?
Questions?
Let's do, I don't want to interrupt you, let's do a motion in a second first, and then we'll do comments and other parts of it.
All right, does somebody want to make the motion?
I'll motion.
Motion by Zimbelman.
I'll second.
Second by Boudreau. Now questions.
What is this about, Chris? I wasn't,
Okay, so yeah, between Thies Park and the houses to the east, there was originally, when that subdivision was developed, half of a road right-of-way, 25 feet wide. It's been there forever. There are utilities in those properties. Unfortunately, because it was in place, some of the homeowners have placed sheds and vegetation, landscaping on those properties, kind of just started using them. So the village wants to alleviate our responsibility on those properties. So we reached out to the engineer and the attorney, and there are 5 property owners that will be getting these properties, that 25-foot wide strip. They're paying whatever the costs are of the village. 4 out of the 5 have agreed to take the properties, 1 is not. So this is just vacating an old road right-of-way that obviously we're never going to build a road or an alley on, and basically giving it to the adjacent property owners.
Just to clarify, this is only 3 of the 4 that was the street. The 125-foot parcel is not included on this because it was actually deeded to the village, so you're not vacating that. We'll do an ordinance with respect to that property later.
Yep.
So this is,
They're still going to take it, but it's a little different process, yeah.
and that's, just for the record, that 2524, reserving the easement for all our utilities and stuff underneath there, that's that ordinance. So we're reserving the easement that we have in there.
Motion was made by Zimbelman, seconded by Boudreau.
Okay. Zimbelman,
Yes.
Boudreau,
Yes.
Barry,
yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
and Crockett.
Yes.
Mayor, I need 3/4, so you're going to have to vote on this one.
Okay. Consideration regarding a motion
You
to,
you need to vote on the,
oh, on this one.
on the vacation, on the vacation of the street, because I need 3/4.
Okay, I vote yes. I do vote yes.
Wait, I'm confused. So
Back to ordinance 2523.
And just for the record, to vacate a street, a majority's, you need 3/4 of the corporate authorities. So 5 out of 7 wasn't going to be good enough. I need 5.25, so technically I need 6. So that's why the mayor had to vote.
Okay.
All right. Under F, consideration for a motion to approve a service agreement between the village with the audio-video company.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Boudreau,
I'll second.
second by Zimbelman. Any questions?
Who is this company? Who is RME?
RME Audio, Jacob has worked with a lot. They've, over the last probably 4 or 5 years, have done a lot of our events. They do a lot of the sound. Again, we just, they did some of the planning commission meetings, so this is just a local company that we've used in the past and had very good luck with, and so they're going to start doing the committee meetings for us. Our current volunteers weren't able to attend those meetings, so we're having to pay for these, and this is the company we reached out to.
Was that the only one that we contacted?
Yes, just because we've worked with them in the past and always had good luck with them. Their fees seemed reasonable, and the board was, agreed that we should probably use a local company.
Any other questions? Okay, motion was made by Boudreau and seconded by Zimbelman.
Boudreau,
Yes.
Zimbelman,
Yes.
Barry,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
Crockett.
Yes.
All right, the next one is under G, ordinance 2524, and this one is an ordinance approving a grant and reservation of municipal and public utility easement, once again on North Cypress, between the northernmost boundary of St. Albans subdivision and Rockney Drive.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Crockett. Second by Vaughn. Any questions?
All right. Crockett,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
Barry,
Yes.
Boudreau,
Yes.
and Zimbelman.
Yes.
All right, and finally, the considerations for payment of the bills in the amount of $567,247.80.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Crockett,
I'll second.
second by Boudreau.
Just to be clear, the $567,247 of that, $456,000 the final payment to Legacy Park, correct?
Yes.
And I did reach out to Bruce Hill about my concerns about that pond. Because, I mean, we are only holding back 1% of that guy's money. So we're holding $8,000 on a $1 million project. And as I drove here tonight, I seen kids walking on the ledge inside the pond, on the dirt. So I just hope that Bruce Hill, if there is a problem, and I understand we've been in a drought situation, but that pond's lower, a lot lower. And that's a big concern when we're paying full payment. And the product hasn't been evaluated, so.
All right, it's
Wait, I
time for comments.
We got
I got to
Oh, the
vote on
vote?
it. Crockett?
Yes.
Sorry. It's okay. Boudreaux?
Yes.
Barry?
Yes.
Vaughn?
No.
And Zibelman?
Yes.
All right. Comments? Annette?
I have nothing, thank you.
Todd?
Yes, I'd like to share some figures here, kind of eye-opening figures. Through the end of July 31st, 2025, the Goshen lawsuit has cost the village $149,275.71. Through the end of October, the forensic audit has cost the village $75,440. To kind of put that in perspective, that's over a third of what it costs the village to provide us all with free garbage service. So, pretty eye-opening. Again, Chris, tonight you've been a wealth of information, providing all of the trustees with answers. Mayor, I will ask you again, based on the vote of the board, would you please sign Chris's contract?
I'm not ready to sign a contract.
Can you give us an explanation
I've been
why?
very open about this with Chris. It's not a personal attack. It's just that when I got elected because people expect me to make changes. And I hope to be able to do that sometime in the near future.
Okay, well, the board did vote in favor of extending him a contract. I think the decent thing to do would be to sign his contract.
Well, I appreciate your input on that, but I still have the power to make appointments.
Okay. So you're going to go against what the board has voted on then?
I'm going to try to make the changes that I promised the people I would make.
But in theory, you are voting against what the board is.
And I also want you to know this, not every town even has contracts. Most of our employees are at will. So we could let them go at any time.
But this village does. That's all I have there for this evening.
So you think a contract protects people? I mean, what is your point?
Contracts do protect people. Yes, they do, Peggy. I think he has shown that he is a very valuable person here in the village. The board voted to extend his contract, and I think it's the mayor's duty to sign the contract.
If you remember, on the first day that I was sworn in, I was faced with all the appointments that I should have been making that were already made for me. And they asked me to sign every one of those. And that's not fair. I'm sure the previous mayor did not go through this when he became
You
mayor.
answered my question, you're not going to abide by what the board has voted on.
Sometimes I have to do what I think is right.
I disagree.
You're entitled to disagree. Comments, Peggy?
I think you're doing the right thing. You have a right to your opinion, you have a right to do what you want to do, and I think you're abiding by that, and I'm proud of you for it. And another thing that's really been bothering me is this purchase agreement. I'm just, when
Peggy,
Drolley...
at some point, we need to put this to rest.
We're gonna let the people know about this.
The board voted on this vehicle.
I know that.
Weeks.
But what I'm going to say, this is a 2026 on this buyer's order. Why does it say 2025 on the Taylor one? I don't get it. I mean, are we getting a 2026 or are we getting a 25 that is signed here on this buyer's order from Taylor? And it said, we approved it, of course, at the village board. for 2025. Is that what we're getting? Because Drawley bid a 2026 Colorado four-wheel drive crew cab against a 2025. It's right here. It's right here. Have you seen this?
Yeah, we discussed this at
But
committee.
what, are we getting a 2026?
Jim
Why-
told us we are. So
Why would it say a 2025?
I didn't make
That's
the
what
contract.
Well, you're a board member. We should be looking into this.
Correct. I have just one question, because this has come up, and I just want to clarify for everyone. Have you ever worked for Drawley?
Yes,
before?
I have.
Are you worried that that could?
No, that has nothing to do with it. It has something to do with right here, a 2026 versus a 2025. That is in black and white.
Is that the only issue, is the numbers?
It's the
25
price, because
25
you know
versus
why?
26?
A 2025 versus a 26 is $3,500 difference. So that means the village is paying an extra $5,500 more when this bid was the lowest bid. That's my complaint.
Well, do we just need to clarify?
Okay, guys.
Do we just need to
Hey,
clarify
Todd.
the year, 25 versus 26?
Yeah,
God.
it says they're right on the paper. That's my.
Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's-
Trustees, you know what? I
Trustees,
wish we
please
would've
address
done that.
please address the president. Let's not argue with one another.
What?
Address
Mayor?
the president. If
Yes.
you got comments, address the
Yeah,
president.
please address me instead of arguing amongst yourselves, because we don't need to have more arguments. All right, any more comments? CJ?
Changing gears here, girls volleyball is playing in the first round of the sectionals tomorrow in Peatone at 6 o'clock. It's the first time we won regional since 2017, so we're excited about that. So it's only in Peatone. It's a short trip to kind of get loud. I think we're facing Chicago Christian, so we're excited about that. Saturday, for the first time ever, our girls cross-country team qualified to go to state, so we're super excited about that. And actually, a lot of the core runners I know are underclassmen, so it's kind of hopefully a first step. We were really close to getting a sectional title too, so that's exciting. We have two boys going too, Caden Ryder and Seth McHugh, both seniors, so that's super exciting. As always, just really quick, the audit was presented at a committee meeting. It'll be posted. I asked questions there too. No kind of big concerns from our audit, was it for the year. The TIF report, if you missed it, again, no kind of major shifts. That's just out on South Cypress for usual. We kind of talked about the letter already. We explained kind of the ordinance. Again, that was kind of a property we never were using by Thies Park, so again, why hold on to it when we can just give it to them? Again, it gets rid of our liability too if anything would ever happen on there, so that just kind of made sense. Me and Mike talked about that Legacy Park project. I think that's something we can address in the future too, of what we're holding for the major projects. Could be maybe stronger too if there ever is an issue that puts a little bit more pressure on them to make sure it's all is done right with it. And then again, just to address the items that we put on agenda. Again, now that we're filming committee meetings, hopefully that helps a lot. We've been posting committee meetings. I hope that helped a lot. I'm trying really hard to kind of get the information out there. As we kind of said, again, reach out to us. I've responded to kind of a bunch of emails in the last week or so, so you can always at least email me. I'll get back to you hopefully pretty quick on that. And I think something we could discuss in the future that I'd be open to also is big ticket items. When we're spending a lot of money, I could understand posting that at a meeting and then voting at the second meeting so that you guys all have time to kind of do that. I think it's something we could maybe move forward with also. And that's all I have. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Mike?
A couple questions I have. And Trustee Crockett keeps telling me that Chris does everything I asked. I want to know.
Mike, I never said that.
Yeah, hang on,
that
let
he
me finish,
does everything
Todd.
you
I
ask.
didn't interrupt you.
I never said that.
I didn't interrupt you, Todd.
Just so we're clear.
Okay. Everyone knows that I work when I can't make a 7 o'clock meeting. It's been very clear to everybody since the day I got elected, I said that. Why would they have the auditor come in at 7 o'clock in the morning to do the presentation for the audit when I'm the finance director? Secondly, I called Chris and I asked him when the lady was going to come back or she was going to address us at a village board meeting. I was told, well, we'll look into it. We have a deadline to file with the county. So if we're all in agreement here, or we're all trying to work together, I think it's very odd that a lot of things seem to be jammed up at the 7 o'clock morning meetings. I think it's very odd. A lot of agenda items that are put on 7 o'clock meetings when I'm not here. 7 o'clock. And to bring it back is, we talk about the Goshen lawsuit. No one has ever been able to tell me what the return on the investment for the Goshen is. So you can sit here and throw out numbers, but all I know is right now, we're losing money because of the property taxes. So we don't bring that up. We don't bring up any of the other stuff, but we bring up about how
Well,
much.
not everybody's in favor of the lawsuit, so I think they have the right to know how much we
The
spent.
residents weren't in favor of the whole deal to begin with, Todd.
So I will continue to update those figures as we move along, because people need to know.
Okay, I really don't have any comments tonight, but I have been trying to meet with each trustee, and Annette, if you have a few minutes tonight before you go home, and Todd, I would love to talk to each one of you separately about Christmas. I have an idea that might go over well. And that's all I have, so if someone wants to make, oh,
I have one thing. I was talking to some citizens, and they wanted me to tell you thank you for increasing trick-or-treat hours. And that, so I had quite a few people that were very, very happy, especially this one couple that works all the way up in the Heights up in Chicago and that. And by the time they would get home to get their little ones dressed and all that, Halloween was almost over. So they just wanted to make sure that I told you thank you, and
thank you, I appreciate
they really
that.
appreciate it.
We're not the only town that extended their hours, and we did it because we had so many comments from people asking for it. And it was a Friday night. So Todd, if you have a few minutes after I talked with Annette, I would love to talk to you tonight, too. Thank you, everybody. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Woodrow, second by Barry.
Okay, Boudreaux?
Yes.
Barry?
Yes.
Vaughn?
Yes.
Crockett?
Yes.
Simmelman?
Yes.
Thank you, everybody, for attending. We really appreciate it.